Reading is awesome! And I have another awesome book for you today. As you may know, my son serves in the military, and that means he moves around the world. He has lived in Japan with his family, but they are getting ready to move to Korea. And when they lived in Japan, my grandchildren were young, so they didn't attend school. And now, when they move to Korea, they will be old enough to attend school. So this book I'm reading today is kind of the opposite of that. It's about a Korean child who comes to the United States to go to school. It's called My Name Is Yoon. Some of the things that Yoon feels and thinks in this book make me wonder if that's what my granddaughters will think when they're in Korea. So I thought it was important to read this book to appreciate what it's like for a young person to move to a foreign country and go to school. My name is Yoon. I came here from Korea, a country far away. It was not long after we settled in that my father called me to his side. Soon you will go to your new school. You must learn to print your name in English, he said. Here, this is how it looks. Y-O-O-N. I wrinkled my nose. I did not like Yoon. Lines, circles, each standing alone. My name looks happy in Korean, I said. The symbols dance together. And in Korean, my name means shining wisdom. I like the Korean way better. Well, you must learn to write it this way. Remember, even when you write in English, it still means shining wisdom. There's Yoon, Y-O-O-N, and there's the way you write it in Korean. It still means shining wisdom. I did not want to learn the new way. I wanted to go back home to Korea. I did not like America. Everything was different here. But my father handed me a pencil, and his eyes said, "Do as I say." He showed me how to print every letter in the English alphabet. So I practiced, and my father was very pleased. "Look," he called to my mother. "See how well our little Yoon does?" "Yes," she said. "She will be a wonderful student." I wrinkled my nose. My first day at school, I sat quietly at my desk while the teacher talked about C-A-T. She wrote C-A-T on the chalkboard. She read a story about C-A-T. I did not know what her words meant, but I knew what the pictures said. She sang a song about C-A-T. It was a pretty song, and I tried to sing the words too. Later, she gave me a paper with my name on it. "Name Yoon," she said, and she pointed to the empty lines underneath. I did not want to write Yoon, Y-O-O-N. I wrote C-A-T instead. I wrote C-A-T on every line. Do you know what C-A-T spells? Yes, cat. I wanted to be C-A-T, I wanted to hide in a corner. My mother would find me and cuddle up close to me. I would close my eyes and mew quietly. Mew. The teacher looked at my paper. She shook her head and frowned. So you are C-A-T? She asked. The ponytail girl sitting behind me giggled. After school, I said to my father, "We should go back to Korea. It is better there." "Do not talk like that," he said. "America is your home now." It is hard when somebody laughs at you for being different. But she wasn't using her name, and so the little girl behind her probably couldn't help herself. She'd probably never heard of somebody calling themselves Cat. But still, it's not very nice to laugh at other people. I sat by the window and watched a little robin hop in the yard. He is all alone too, I thought. He has no friends. No one likes him. Then I had a very good idea. If I draw a picture for the teacher, then maybe she will like me. It was the best bird I had ever drawn. "Look, Father," I said proudly. "Oh, this makes me happy," he said. "Now do this." And he showed me how to put B-I-R-D under the picture. The next day at school, the teacher handed me another Y-O-O-N paper to print. But I did not want to print Y-O-O-N. I wrote B-I-R-D instead. I wrote B-I-R-D on every line. Do you know what Y-O-O-N spells? Yes, Yoon. And B-I-R-D? Yes, it spells bird. I wanted to be B-I-R-D. I wanted to fly back to Korea. I would fly to my nest and I would tuck my head under my little brown wing. She's homesick. I've moved a lot, and sometimes you miss the place where you used to live. The teacher looked at my paper. Again, she shook her head. "So, you are B-I-R-D?" she asked. Then I showed her my special robin drawing. I patted my red dress, and then I patted the red robin. I lowered my head and peeked up at her. The teacher smiled. "How was school today, my daughter?" my mother asked. "I think the teacher likes me a little," I said. "Well, that is good," my mother said. "Yes, but at my school in Korea, I was my teacher's favorite. I had many friends. Here, I am all alone." "You must be patient with everyone, including yourself," my mother said. "You will be a fine student, and you will make many new friends." The next day at recess, I stood near the fence by myself. I watched the ponytail girl sitting on the swing. She watched me, too. Suddenly, she jumped off of the swing and ran over to me. She had a package in her hand. The wrapper said CUPCAKE. She opened it and gave me one. She giggled. I giggled too. When we were back in school, the teacher gave us more printing papers. I did not want to write YOON. I wrote CUPCAKE instead. Do you know what CUPCAKE spells? It spells cupcake, and cupcakes are delicious. But instead of writing her name, Yoon wrote CUPCAKE, CUPCAKE, instead of YOON. Cupcake is a fun name, but it's not really her name. I wanted to be CUPCAKE. The children would clap their hands when they saw me. They would be excited. Cupcake, they would say. Here is Cupcake. She's imagining what it would be like at school if she were a cupcake. It would be exciting and surprising. I like how Yoon is imagining the scene of her being a cupcake at school. I can picture it too. The teacher looked at my paper. And today you are CUPCAKE, she said. She smiled a very big smile. Her eyes said, I like this girl, Yoon. After school, I told my mother about the ponytail friend. I sang a new song for my father. I sang in English. You are making us so proud, little Yoon, my mother said. Maybe America will be a good home, I thought. Maybe different is good too. It's so nice to hear that Yoon had a good day at school. The next day at school, I could hardly wait to print. And this time, I wrote YOON on every line. When my teacher looked at my paper, she gave me a big hug. Aha! You are YOON, she said. Yes, I am YOON. She has friends. She's liking school. She's learning words. She's learning to read and to write. It's a good feeling. I write my name in English now. It still means shining wisdom. Oh, I'm so glad this book had a happy ending, because I really want my grandchildren to be happy wherever they live, whether they're living in the United States or in Korea or Japan or Germany or wherever they are. I hope they know that they can learn to make friends, and they can learn to read and write in different languages and just appreciate life wherever they are. It was awesome reading this book with you and talking about my family. You know what else is awesome? Reading. Reading is awesome!